Do I like men? Yes. Do I like men? No.
Men like to act like we're concerned with the fact that women don't like us. We really don't care if women like us or not. We want women to need us. We don't care if women like us. We want women to need us. And since we have created a whole system to force women into needing us, aka subjugating women, women now don't like us. Right? Like women don't like us. And and some women actually hate us, I would say. And men don't want to address the reasons why women have a legitimate reason to hate men.
The inherent fact that men are evil, that is true. Like man as a whole is evil. Like just as an entity, a general idea. Men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil. It's like it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man. Like 99% of the time. So I feel like it's a lot simpler than people may think. I don't hate my man, I hate most men. And for me, I think given what men have done to me personally, to people I love, and the world as a whole, if they all start guilty and have to work their way to innocent, it's not really a big deal to me. I feel very like convicted in that. It's very like, if you're not awful, prove it. Yeah. Quit talking about it and fucking do it. Because the men who complain that they really hate hearing like, oh, what about all men? Oh, all men, all men. A lot of this, not a lot of action.
They are trying to convince women with their words and not with their actions that, or we as a group, we are trying to convince women with our words and not our actions that we aren't as bad as they think we are, or we're good guys or nice guys, or whatever. When in reality, all we would have to do is just prove it to them by being the people we claim we are, right? Also, we can prove it to them by listening to them and not invalidating all of their experience. Because at the end of the day, if it's true, it's true. If it's right, it's right, right?
Men who are not pieces of shit don't give a fuck when you talk bad about the shitty ones. Men who are not pieces of shit don't give a fuck when you talk bad about the shitty ones. So if he's triggered talking about, well, not all of us, it's not my fault. You've just picked shitty ones. So guess what, babe? You're shitty men. You're shitty men. Not all, but enough.
I spend a lot of my time not defending men. I spend so much of my time not defending men. And as a man, let me tell you, it's freeing not defending men, because you can't defend men. There's so much bullshit that men have done and continue to do and are actively doing right now. We're indefensible. There's no need in defending men. It's exhausting. If you're constantly defending men, you're going to end up exhausted, because we never stop with the fuck.
Does not affect men, by the way. What, are you serious? Of course it does. Does not affect men, by the way. What, are you serious? Of course it does. When you say mean things to me, it makes me sad. You say things like KAM, I'm like, me? What did I do? You say dissenter men, I feel so horrible because I want to be centered. Nah, center me. It really hurts my feelings, and I think you should stop. Like, you have no idea what that's like. You have no idea what it's like to have someone be so misandrous towards you. But on a serious note, I always don't get when they're like, oh, misandry doesn't affect men. Because by definition, when they're like, oh, misandry just hurts men's feelings, it doesn't affect them. Getting your feelings hurt does affect you. Are we?
Yeah. When we say it doesn't affect people, we mean in the material world. Because a lot of times when you talk about your feelings, that is a choice. You choose to be triggered. You choose to be offended. Again, like that young lady just said before, the men who get it, right? The men who aren't pieces of shit don't care about the women when they talk about men who are pieces of shit. I choose not to be offended. I could be offended by that as a man, right? I could have been offended by what Drew just said, Drew Afualo said. I could have been offended by what she said, right? But I don't. I'm not offended by that. I don't get offended by that stuff. Whether it applies to me or not, why would I get offended by it either way? If it applies to me, it applies to me. I need to do better. If it doesn't apply to me, why am I getting offended by something that doesn't apply to me? I can choose not to be offended by it. So that's the point. When we say that, and this is why I don't, are you guys dumb, dense, disingenuous, dishonest, or all of the above? Because all we're talking about is the material world. That's it. If the worst thing men had to put up, if the worst thing women had to put up with was being offended by a man, they would trade that any fucking day for what's happening right now. So yeah, I'm gonna say it again. Misandry doesn't hurt men. You choose to allow it to hurt your fucking feelings, though. You choose to. Usually the reason why things offend you is because you haven't unpacked them yet, which is a fucking choice.
Are we living in a sticks and stones world? So what happened to the fact of just like, I swear there's an era, right, where we didn't want to hurt people's feelings, where we acknowledged hurting people's feelings is bad. But now we're at a point where.
What about hurting people's bodies? What about protecting people from actual real world harm, starvation, lack of education, abuse, lack of funds, lack of access to education? Like, why are you don't care about that? That's on the same level as you hurting my feelings. The thing that I chose to be hurt, you know what I mean? I chose to do, I chose to be hurt, and I chose to be offended. Interesting.
It's not bad enough. If you're not tangibly oppressing somebody, bro, you're not going far. It's just like, I get it, okay? Because a lot of people have similar thoughts about racism towards white people. I understand that you don't care that it happens and that it doesn't matter to you. But saying it doesn't affect men, that it's not real, is just a lie.
It's not a lie. It's not real, and it doesn't affect men. It's not, again, I'll repeat. It's not real, it's a lie, and it doesn't affect men. Yeah, you're wrong.
Misandry is not real! Now that I have your attention. It's not. At least not in the way misogyny is. Misogyny is baked into the system, whereas misandry is an individual sentiment at best. But it has no real power. Men have presently and historically never been excluded from education, political affiliation, or social movements on the basis of sex. Their bodily autonomy has never been legislated, and yet women have had to face all of those oppressions. Why? Because of systemic misogyny. From wage gaps and gender-based violence to media objectification and reproductive restrictions, misogyny is just part of the foundation here. Religion, economics, social norms, it's in all of them, and it infests. But there is no misandry in any of these systems, because none of them are even dominated by women. The things you are currently thinking of are examples of misandry, are in institutions created, run, and dominated by men. Yes, even that family court thing you guys love to bring up, which is technically a bit of a fallacy, but I don't feel like dealing with that right now. But no, a woman, or even a group of women, saying that all men are trash is not equivalent to the systems, laws, institutions that have existed and still currently exist to create limitations on women's personal autonomy and value to society. In fact, that is just a justified reaction to spending their entire lives living in a male-dominated society built on the foundation of misogyny.
Well said. Well said. No notes. So then when women listen to men like this, who are disregarding everything that women are going through, how can you not understand why they don't give a fuck about us, why they hate us, whatever the case may be, why they say KAM? Like, this is crazy.
One thing you have to know about women is that deep down, they love patriarchy. Women have been lied to about patriarchy, so they think that they hate it. But I can tell you, women love a man with a patriarchal mindset because it's that type of man that holds traditional values. And whether she's a traditional or modern-minded woman, all women love traditional men. Because what type of man believes in being a protector and provider? It's the traditional man. What type of man believes in being chivalrous? It's the traditional man. What type of man believes in romancing his woman? It's the traditional man. A modern-minded woman might say, I hate the fact that men don't take charge and lead, and they can't even set a date properly. And that's because she's struggling to find the type of guy who has patriarchal energy.
None of those things are exclusive to the let me take that back. The concept of love and romance is rooted in the patriarchy. It is. So you're right there. But we have seen that those things are tools of manipulation for women. So we should probably get rid of them. the chivalry also patriarchal. It's benevolent patriarchy, right? I'll lay down my jacket on this puddle for you, but when we get home, I'll also punch you in your face for not having my dinner ready when I get home from work. Or I'll slay a dragon for you, but I won't listen to you when you talk, and I'll gaslight you every time you try to address an issue between us. I'll build a house for you, but I'll ignore you every chance we get, and I won't help you out with our kids, and I won't help you out with any of the labor around the home. Like that, like no, women don't want that. They want it all because they deserve it all, because they give it all. They do it all. Women do all of that. Women will give us the coats off their backs. They'll give us the last money that they have, all of these things, and give us their body, and give us their time, and give us their attention, and give us their energy, and right? And then all they want in return is the same thing. It doesn't seem like much to ask for if they're giving it, which they are, right? But men are like, no, I'll be chivalrous. So I'll open up this door for you. I'll pull out a chair for you. I'll do all of these performative things, but I won't actually do the things that you need to make you a whole, happy human being. I won't protect you from the system that is trying to destroy you. I won't actually go out here and fight for you and try to get your your rights reinstated that they stripped away from you, and when they took away your autonomy. I won't actually push back against that system. But hey, I'll carry you across the threshold when we go into our new home after I marry you into a life of bondage, and you'll be my wife slave. Patriarchal men don't actually do anything. When they get the woman, they do stuff to manipulate and to get the woman. But once they get the woman does everything. She takes over. She does everything for that man. A patriarchal man doesn't cook. He doesn't clean. He doesn't tend to the children, and he don't eat the vagina from the bite. Patriarchal men don't believe in stuff like that. The only reason why he'll protect a woman is if she is under his possession, because it's about his ego and not about her protection. And when I say protect, I'm only talking about physical threat, external physical threats. That's the only time a man will protect a woman, and that's the only reason why he'll do it. So why would a woman be in love with the patriarchy? You're just lying on them. If a woman sees that, why would she turn around and be like, oh, but men, yeah, men aren't that bad.
Does this guy ever address the misandry of women toward actual boys? So glad you asked, because yes, I do. I frequently point out that what you and others call misandry is actually an effect of misogyny. Take, for instance, the requirement that many women have that the men they date have to be over 6 feet tall. That comes from patriarchy, from associating being tall with masculinity and short with being feminine. And within patriarchy, we devalue the feminine, which is why it is undesirable for men to be short. Femininity is bad. That's misogyny. Or take the complaint that women clearly have privilege in the workforce because all of the most dangerous, lethal jobs are largely performed by men. And that's because those fields have operated like a boys' club for so long. The only reason women aren't working in those fields is because men won't allow them to. So again, another problem created by misogyny. A lot of women still expect men to pay for the first date. Why? Because of the gender wage gap and the gender income gap. Men are still making more money than women. And why? Misogyny. Now, you and I might not be directly, specifically responsible for this ourselves, but what you call misandry, we have only ourselves collectively. We have only men, patriarchy, to blame.
100% facts. There's nothing more to be said about this. You guys don't even know what misandry is. Misandry is 100% a reaction to patriarchy. And whenever a woman says anything about men, it is that men get offended by. I can almost guarantee you that you can trace it back to the patriarchy and not this idea of misandry. Okay, women hate men, but why? They don't just, for no reason, they don't just hate it. So for why? Why? And if it's a reaction, what are they reacting to? Are they reacting to eons of abuse? Yeah. They have the right to hate us. It's okay to hate people. I'm not one of those people that don't think hate. I don't think hate is wrong in every instance. I think it's hate. I think it's wrong to hate people simply so you can subjugate them. Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's fucked up to hate people just so you can take advantage and exploit them. But I don't think the people that are being taken advantage of and being exploited don't have a right to hate the people that are exploiting them, right? That seems fair to me. So I'm good. I don't think, like, I know that misandry isn't a real thing, but I was just wondering, or wanted to show men that it's actually not a real thing, and it's pretty fucking goofy. And y'all can stop wondering why women don't like us. They're telling us exactly why. Drew said it in the beginning. She lays it out perfectly. Why women don't like me. If we need any more evidence, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this young woman. Listen to what she's saying. Listen to these sayings, right? It's not scientific, but just listen to it. Not scientific. Just listen to the sayings though.
Here are 10 things about men that I can't unhear. Black men treat black women like white men treat black men.
Facts.
Rich men abuse you through their money. Broke men abuse you through yours.
Facts.
No one makes a better girlfriend than a woman who hates men.
Facts.
Men want to be alone. They just don't want to do it by themselves. It may not be all men, but it's all.
Wait, men don't want to be alone, but they don't want to do it by themselves. Men want to be alone, but they don't want to do it by themselves. Is crazy.
Always a man. You want to know what it feels like to be disrespected? Take care of a man.
Damn.
If a man says he knows where his home is, what he really means is he knows where the person who cleans his home is.
Jesus.
Never bring up another woman unless you're prepared to leave, lest you'll become the other woman. If you care about the love more than you do the money, you'll end up losing both. Men never leave. They just make your existence so miserable, you have no choice but to go.
Yep. And then men blame the women and say, you're not upholding your vows.
Here are 2 bonus extras just for the fun of it. If a man tells you that he doesn't want to get married, the with you is silent. If a man says nobody ever bought him anything, it's because he's priming you to buy him everything. And it's
If that ain't the motherfucking truth.
always decenter men, decenter outcomes.
That's what it is at the end of the day. I mean, it's so abundantly clear why women don't like us, and they have every right not to like us, and men have zero right to question that. Right? We just got to do better. Like, I don't know. It's really not that difficult. It's not that hard. Like, we just have to do better and stop trying to trick women into liking us.